Welcome back to the Intel Esports Arena here in Burbank, California. And my name is Stunna, and there was a random thumb in my way. Either way, we have the boys in baby blue versus the Stroke Commandos. Now, guys, these two teams, they have quite a history and an extensive one of playing each other.
It kind of reminds me if you were to draw a line right here between us and you. So we're like Cloud9 blue, and you're wearing the SK black. So it's kind of interesting. So you should stay over there. Anyway, the last time they met each other in a big match was ESL 1 Cologne, right? And that was a 3-0 in a best-of-5 going SK's way. SK were playing insane that day, by the way.
Then you also have to look at it, too, is that roster has changed from Cloud9. So,
sure.
You know, for all intents and purposes, our sample there is just a little, you know.
Yeah.
Slightly different. It's slightly different.
Everyone likes a good excuse here and there.
Everybody, no. Everybody likes a good storyline. And, well, a storyline has been provided to us multiple times by this SK roster. Let's take a look at them now as if they needed an introduction. Fallen, Cold, Zarek, Taco, Fur, Phelps, boom. Done.
They're, you know, some people think they're not the best team in the world. I still think they're top 3. Right now, I think it's safe to say that they're in a slump, not doing the best that they can be. I don't know if it's because of maybe Phelps or whatnot.
Cologne was you know, seemingly the last tournament that they've shown up in, that they've won, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, well, Major was, you know, a week after Cologne, and they did pretty well at the Major. They lost a hotly contested series against Astralis in 2-0, right? Astralis is one of those teams that, you know, it's like the prize boxing fight, right? If you see Astralis versus SK or FaZe, right, it's kind of like any one of those 3 teams on any given day can be #1 in the world. And I would say, like, that's how I view rankings, is like, I guess you could say tier. Like, they're literally like the top dog tier. Like, it's not even tier 1, it's like top dog tier. Those 3 teams are in it for me.
Best of the best.
Like, if you were to give them 2 months or like a month to prepare for a LAN, and they wouldn't have to play a bunch of online matches or other smaller events, they would probably just destroy every other team.
Well, you know, I think this other lineup, their competition, also needs no introduction. Let's talk about Cloud9 and pull up that roster right now. Automatic, Skadoodle, Rush, Tarek, and, you know, I was talking to Stewie2K earlier. He gave me something along the lines of sentiments that the C9 era is about to begin. That was the clear-cut message from him. He's saying that, you know, they're putting a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and productivity is at an all-time high over there, so that they can kind of come together with this new lineup and accomplish the things that they need to accomplish moving forward. In terms of just laying down the groundwork, that's the start, and then finding the systems, rhythms, protocols, blah, 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 to finding the W's right after that.
Yeah, it's I'll let Eric weigh in on this one because I kind of went ham-bone on the SK segment.
Right. Like, I think Cloud9, you know, they did start off a little rocky with the addition of Tarek.
And Rush.
And Rush, of course. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that it does take work, especially at a high level, to where, you know, you get 2 new players, you have to kind of reformat your team a little bit, kind of come out with a new angle, how are we going to approach this. Like Scott, I've been seeing him opping a lot better lately, a little more consistent, and it seems like all the pieces are falling together, and Automatic and Stewie, and the whole team has just been, it shows that they've been working hard.
Yeah.
Like, it comes with the wins.
Just making it work, putting boots in the dirt. Am I right? Well, look, guys, we're going to Cbble. That's going to be our first map in this 2 best-of-1s. Which way are we feeling Cbble's going to go?
So Cloud9 haven't beat SK on Cbble in quite a long time. You have to go all the way back into like earlier this year. I think it was like the Subaru Invitational online tournament. And every other time SK's had their number, and it's mostly just due to how SK play the drop zone area.
Well, we are online, so perhaps they have a chance, right?
I mean, I don't know if I wasn't saying it has anything to do with online versus LAN play, but I do want to go back more to like the working hard thing. So I can attest firsthand without giving up too much information that it's almost like an all hands on deck kind of effort, right? Whereas before, there were certain people that might not have been as adamant about, you know, bringing their own stuff to practice or doing their homework ahead of time without somebody asking them for something. Yep. And now that stuff doesn't even have to be addressed. People are like, hey, I found this out last night. You know, I was playing around with this, that, and the other, like on my offline server. And I think this could really help us with what we, you know, came across in practice yesterday.
Well, that certainly tends to happen within roster changes. Rosters, when they get a change, they oftentimes feel this reinvigoration. But anyway, so we're going to Cbble. We're going to take a look at the Betway odds, and then I'm going to get your guys' predictions here real quick.
I think that's kind of accurate. I think it's SK should be the favorite, especially in Cbble.
But not too much.
Not too much. I still think C9's a great team. They're still working out some things, but they are getting better. They are showing improvements, and I mean, I still think SK is going to take this.
Well, we'll see if that happens. But to bring it to us, it's going to be Blue and Launders. You guessed it right. Guys, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, Stunna. Well, it's time to jump into a new matchup, and of course, this is the big rivalry that everybody looks forward to seeing here in the online division for the ESL Pro League. It's SK taking on Cloud9, and SK in a bit of a, I would say, hampered state at the moment. That might leave them vulnerable for Cloud9 to be able to take at least one of these maps.
Yeah, somewhat spotty results. I think a lot of people are definitely overreacting when it comes to like how good they are and talking about like I had someone come into my chat and say and ask me if SK were even a top 10 in the world, which is just like ridiculous. But the fact that the sentiment for some people is going that extreme just based off of some spotty results, I mean, they need a reality check because this is still like an insane lineup. Any analyst or professional player will still most likely say they're the best team in the world, bottom line. And it's really hard to name somebody who has just consistently been better or had better results. And even in 2017 have had like so many good and big wins. So tough team. I'm sure Cloud9 respects them, and it has been a long time since Cloud9 have had success versus them on Cbble, as James pointed out. So this is going to be a very difficult. And we didn't get to have him delve deeper into it, but he mentioned drop down. Drop down was a big reason that SK were so good. So I'd like to pay close attention to that, find if we could, and see if we can draw any distinctions between the way that SK play it versus Cloud9.
Yeah, SK are going to end up swinging their players out through A long. First off here, Automatic will have a chance to counter out some of this here, and Rush actually might find some action here too, as it looks like SK are going to try to drop slit on the pistol. Now, SK, you have to be a little bit careful so as not to reveal this early on. Like I said before, Automatic ends up waiting on the outside over here, right back up on the ramp. And for the other two players, they haven't been able to get into that drop control just yet. So it looks like actually, after some delay and after clearing out through A long, SK decide not to go for that drop split. They'll fall back, group up in the B halls, and potentially execute out here instead. Cloud9 still have two full players fully pushed out onto A as well. So that is another note that we have to keep our eyes on going later into the round here. As we see them pushing back down. In comes the full-on execute here. Rotates will start working their way out as well. Rush, unfortunately, is going to get overwhelmed on sidewalk there from the wrong side. Tarek goes down relatively quickly, too, so it's two fast frags from SK. Stewie going to be moving out here, but they stop planting just in time. Stewie tries to go back to get the kill. Not going to happen. Fur also picks up the Skadoodle. Automatic will finally get one kill rolling here for Cloud9, but the problem is he's not the last man standing, so Fur takes him right out of the game. And there we go. SK win the pistol to start off this first map.
So there's actually a lot to unpack here with that first thing where they stepped out and they cleared A with 3 people. A reason why they do that is because this is a good way to get within closing distance, or closing the distance between you and a USP. They get to clear out the forward A positions, knowing that they can either get a kill there, which are nice duels that you want to take as a terrorist. They can also, if they do get those kills, execute onto the site, have the players that drop split A with them, and if they don't, they go back and they know that they can't get fast flanked because they've cleared out close A. So there's a lot of benefits to using the early round to go and look for that information, especially as a terrorist when you really want to find those fights is anytime that you can.
SK are pushing in from A long now. Gonna take that nice easy control here. Cloud9 obviously looking for the aggressive response in the second round as their players have bought up to it. But SK, excuse me, now moving in there. And again, it's free control for them. There's not really any resistance coming in from C9 at all. Just holding players. I think it's Suicide right now that Automatic's hiding out underneath that little bit of a lip that goes out on the left side of the stairs. So he has that position. And again, they're lined up in the same area they're going to move down towards. Automatic has a nice angle there, so he gets the first kill. Phelps takes a moment to figure out where exactly Automatic is hiding from, but he does get the trade, very quickly bringing it back down to a 4v4. And with that kill happening, all the players that were originally going to go down drop, they now move over here. It looks like they're going to regroup and just go for a direct push up to the A site. Currently, only Skadoodle sitting in there to defend it. Others are on the way, however. So moving up here now. Skadoodle unfortunately going to be pushed into a corner. Fur doesn't realize that Stewie is sitting behind the APC. Fallen and Phelps pick up 3 more kills with Cold Zero also helping out there on the third one too. And now just Tarek as he tried to complete a flank, but unfortunately those 3 players in the site did not get to survive for long enough in order for this flank to be really successful. So I would imagine that SK expect this. He might be able to sneak off 1 kill here with the clutch. very much going to be in the realm of fantasy. And there we go. They box out, take him down. Good damage done by Cloud9, but no success on actually upsetting.
Yeah, standard practice from SK going and clearing out A. Actually, one thing to pull there was Automatic found a cool angle, and you don't typically see SK players, their wall clearing stuff, get caught off guard. So the fact that Automatic from Danger was able to find a really tricky angle to use the CZ from and had a bunch of time to react as well. It's something that you could probably pull for yourself if you go back and watch a replay of it or the demo. You know, that was kind of cool. Now we have a full save for Cloud9. USPs across the board. Absolutely no utility bot. Just a bunch of CTs grouped up outside of drop in between A and B.
Nades going down inside here as SK. Will once again drop in and take control out into the open. They'll go after this one. Cloud9 trying to stack over here towards the connector. Got even a two-man stack up there in one of the corners here. So Coldzera doesn't exactly know what hits him as Stewie takes him down. A little bit of confusion there. So they get at least one kill going. But doing anything else after this is going to be a little bit difficult. It seems actually like they're trying to get players to chase them out here as Stewie even smokes it back off. So it's interesting what Cloud9 are doing right now.
Yeah, sometimes you would see a team, once they get this kill, just start running all over the place. Like, oh, we got one kill, we won the round. But in reality, that's not going to happen. So I think it's cool that they just like got that kill, stayed put for a second, are hoping that SK in response might go and look for another one, and they'll have a better chance, you know, being CT, staying, holding angles, and using these USPs. But no, they don't have great guns to come in for a retake just because they got the 5v4.
Just trying to do damage right now, essentially, and drop more guns if they can here.
Yeah.
So they'll all stack up in that site connector, seeing if they can get anyone else out into the open to take the bait on the fight. At the moment, it's not looking likely, however, for just sitting back. He's not going to peek that windowsill again, as he knows how many players I think now are sitting outside of it. And Cloud9 will start to back away. Stewie tries to go in for one more kill, gets close to it, brings Fur down to 40 HP. But SK will still close out, obviously, here, and no, not a whole lot of success coming up for Cloud9 that time.
See that? Literally nothing to save whatsoever. USP is no armor, no nades, and they still don't give up those kills to give up the kill reward. So just careful play from Cloud9, super disciplined. That's the kind of stuff you want to see from every team, but most teams stop calling at that point when it's that far into an eco and they just go, okay, well, do what you want, look for kills. They figured, oh, we don't have a good opportunity to get these kills, let's not give them any extra money. Moving into round 4, it's still tight. They don't have much utility to work with. SK, on the other hand, are sitting pretty and have many options to both bait out utility and pull off full executes, as well as false execs, fakes, and so forth. Flash goes out to long B. No response from Cloud9 because they don't have mollies to work with. And it's going to be up to SK to decide whether or not they think it's because they don't have nades or because they're holding on to them.
Cloud9s have started to use the last remaining bits of their utility here now. We can see those last two smokes and they toss that onto the field. SK already with drop control, and now due to the smoke, they're going to be able to creep ever so closer to the broken wall. We can see Taco has a little bit of an angle past that smoke there, just trying to make sure that no one from Cloud9 went up on top of the platform, which didn't happen. Cloud9 does have most of their players rotated into this site, however, only keeping Skadoodle to watch A long. They've got one outside of the drop area here. They're going to move in, get the first kill, but it's traded back now by members of Cloud9 very quickly. 2 for them. Looking for the counter trades coming out from SK. Only 1 from Fur so far, but there we go. Now they take back control very quickly with 3 pickups. That clears out the site, leaving only Skadoodle alive in a 1v3. He's going to try to jump in towards Windowcell. Oh, I thought he was dead right there, but Fur, fortunately, he's just going to get completely wrecked by Skadoodle. So he keeps himself alive, but at 12 HP, knows the 1v2 is definitely not going to happen. So he'll fall back to save this gun and let SK go up 4-0.
SK made that very tricky. It's clear that utility played some role, especially making it 5v4. Stewie died pretty much sitting in the Molotov. So, and the smoke held Skadoodle out. So you can see that the fact that they had that advantage was a big factor in the reason that they won on that B execute. Cloud9, what Cloud9 had in their favor was a couple opportunities to get kills sealed up. They also had an early rotate to be around the 1 minute mark. We had 4 players inside the site. So in terms of manpower, they were ready to go. It's just that SK had a couple of advantages in terms of utility, and they played those really well. And yeah, here's Stewie getting pressured, actually by a MAC-10 and a Molotov, which is really difficult to have to deal with. I mean, not the fact that it's a MAC-10 spraying you down, but the fact that you're losing to one is mentally difficult to deal with.
So Cloud9 back onto another eco here. Not even really the greatest rebuy onto the eco. As we can see, it's primarily just CZs and P250s. Only 3 players having armor. One of it was saved from the last round here. So very, very lightly bought from Cloud9 this time. And they're going to be looking to Skadoodle to try and do most of the work here. Just find get some impact. Fur challenging the players in drop already. He's going to be able to move forward, taking down Rush. Now mollying it up just to try and clear any stragglers that may have decided to move inside. Meanwhile, there's 2 more players stacked on the site. You have Stewie up on top of the box and Cbble playing further back by the actual statue. Tarek sits as the lone man watching A. He's going to hear the presence working its way in, but he's still stuck inside of Shed here. Actually, no, excuse me, he's inside of that long haul. So there's not a whole lot that he could do currently. They basically just have to let SK walk up, take full control, and with that plan, that pretty much seals the deal for this round. I really don't think that these last 3 are going to be able to do much besides maybe post up for a couple exit kills.
And so SK are off to the quick 5-0, no problem. Get the bomb down. Scoodles hope to recycle this op, while the rest of the C9 members, Stewie and Tarek, just hope to find some SK stragglers to maybe, fortunately, get a extra AK or 2. And coldzera peeking around with that M4 isn't actually going to commit. There would be no reason for him to, knowing that Cloud9 are almost certainly on a full save after killing 2 players who didn't have head armor. That information getting shared with their teammates. It's a pretty clear cut, as SK basically walk all the way back to Long B to look for free kills if they find him. Try not to get opt. And finish the round out cleanly. So 5 alive for SK. Cloud9 have enough money for a much better buy than they had in the first rifle round, which is one thing for them. They'll have kits on top of recycling this op, which is a huge amount of money. Scoodle will only have to rebuy his utility and not even need armor. Actually are going to pick up a second op on Tarek. Everybody's going to have full nades to work with, and this is a much more fair fight, I'd say. Tough part now is putting 2 together. SK saving all 5 on a round where they have all the guns they want to keep. Are going to be a little bit higher in mobility as they don't have an op to slow them down. But being on the T side, that's going to be natural.
Yeah, now we'll start to see them shift in again, mainly going for the A long control here. Skadoodle's actually very close to the front this time, ready to fight against it. It looks like Phelps is going to go back, lining up the flashbang to go over the top. Should blind Cbble out. Yeah, he'll take the timing shot and back away pretty quickly towards the edge of long A here. So that should leave it clear for SK to go out. And they flash it one more time just to be safe in the event Cbble did decide to stick around. He gets his own flash out there, however, and that'll reblind most of these SK players trying to push in. Ready to take contest, and as such, SK need to use one more nade. The timing shot again for him. He just barely scrapes out of there with only 7 HP left. He will escape and quickly boosts up automatic. The problem is they're quickly approaching the border here of getting into the site. So Skadoodle needs to get to a safe position quickly, otherwise he's going to be the first one dead when this execute rolls in from SK.
Textbook long control from both teams as Scoodle gets shot off his, has to shy off his angle from 2 flashes and also take some spam damage as they kind of expect that to happen. The boost gets called out from Tarek. Shot comes out, half damage on Fur and coldzera. About 60-40 between the 2. Tarek re-peeks off the back of a couple of Molotovs, flash to assist his fallback, and Cloud9 are up to 5-4.
So SK will dive back in, complete this split here now. They did get the first kill, but now they're going to stop the actual hit. And unfortunately, the push, for the most part, from SK completely counters out the setup that C9 had in that site. We see them just tearing apart the entire roster. There was only 10 seconds remaining. Tarek is going to get that first kill, and the second now with the bomb just going down. He's opened up an opportunity for the clutch. Molly will get in the way. And we've got Phelps close up here now.
Oh my god, he might burn himself if he moves.
No, he's good. Breaks that open too. And now it's just a matter of detecting whether he's right here. And no, doesn't realize that he played that close up. So Phelps will take him down, and SK remain flawless for right now, 6-0 over Cloud9.
Certainly that information was shared that Tarek was extremely low after this duel. I think it was Cold who did some damage to him. No, but Cold in the drop down, holding it down as his teammates were there at Long B just to make sure that no one was up on the plat and they can have information, and that helped them fake towards B and also take drop control at the exact same time. It's very difficult for the CTs when they have to control 2 choke points at once, and that's what SK Gaming exploited. And you know, it was really difficult to see even from our perspective that they were going to get hit A, and you can only imagine how confused Cloud9 were after SK spent all that time clearing out the site.
He's going to move himself forward here now, trying to quickly react as Cloud9 attempt to go for a little bit of a mini pinch here, trying to fake out Taco. Flashes, actually at the moment, saving Taco's life, but there's so much going on around him. Can't figure out exactly what happens. He survives for the time being with 1 HP as he backs into the corner here. And Tarek now pushing up. He'll get beaten out by coldzera. That's the second man down. Again, Skadoodle sits back as the only man with a real gun to play with here, and he has rotated back into the tree position. SK despite all their kills, have not actually gotten a whole lot of control. So now it's going to become an opportunity for Automatic to sneak back up. Rush, oh my goodness, Automatic, excuse me, and Rush, both of them sneaking back up here together, and they just get 3 kills out of absolutely nowhere. Completely changing the narrative for this round, and now Cbble, who still holds the statue position, takes out the only other player that was in the site. Virgo's down, and you'll remember now, Taco, he's only at 1 HP, so he can't really do anything about this. 1v3, Cloud9 have somehow pulled this back from the grave. He's going to flash back in, try to go for the clutch, but he won't even come close. Rush immediately takes him down. And what a way for Cloud9 to finally get themselves onto the board.
Well, it's not every day you see SK get ecoed that dramatically as well. The push in the broken wall, one person to help him out, that's Rush. And that's it, just a bunch of CZ kills, fall interest, hold on to an angle to make up or get some kind of trade, gets peaked with a CZ, loses that duel straight up, and long B controls just a cluster. It's a mess. Oh, that's going to be a tough pill to swallow. Cloud9's first round coming on off the back of an eco. I mean, they'll take it any way they can, so... Oh, they're falling, finding a key opportunity, timing that peak perfectly. Automatic, one of the only other players at A gets killed. A rotate comes in, and that's Rush from the Heaven, is now making his way. Oh, it's sitting in Heaven to make sure that there isn't going to be any kind of split. SK have done a great job of conditioning them into thinking that it could be any possible choke point at any time already. 7 rounds into the game.
It's going to pull Cbble back too, so that gives SK free A-long control for that kill.
That is so risky from Tarek. He could get peeked from the right, but seems very convinced that there is someone there. I don't know if there actually is or not. No, no, it isn't. Someone at drop. Flash goes out long B as SK actually fall back to B as well. So again, sometimes you throw these flashes just to kind of fake the fake. You can throw a flash to make it seem like you're falling back when actually you're hitting a site. And just keep the CTs guessing. A lot of this round's going to come down to the hold by Tarek and whether or not the flashes will put him off.
Tarek, he's going to find the first pickup here now. Takes down Fallen, tries to re-peek towards. He's got to be careful of the Molotov too. He does go out. Phelps takes a lot of damage, but no kill just yet. Stewie only able to get 1 as well. It's not good for Cloud9. As Deadly sit a man down and no real great control over the site here. The plant will go in. Rush, unfortunately, not able to punish it immediately. And Phelps guarding the planter there. The nade damage will still go off, but Cbble is left to clutch again. Able to come close. coldzera gets shut down, and that traded round is bad news for Cloud9, as they will lose their losing bonus. They do have a little bit of money left over to rebuy one more time, but after that, they'll find themselves very quickly onto an eco.
And SK Gaming here is so good. It's like unreal to me that anyone can even beat them. They're just making this as difficult as possible, working all the map control, coming back with a great execute. The trades are incredibly on point. Phelps, as you mentioned, did a great job guarding the bomb in that situation, keeping an eye on Rush the entire time. And coldzera with the instant trade on Rock, giving them absolutely no opportunity to assume that there's going to be someone right behind them, or to allow them to even have a chance to spray further as he gets that instant headshot. So, you know, aim trades, map control, all 10 out of 10 at the moment for SK. As we move into round 9, drop control, and it's a force buy from Cloud9, who somehow managed to buy 2 ops, but then also have a couple of CZs.
Yeah, SK not going to drop just yet for any sort of control here, but they are going to be hanging out on top side.
Yeah, just jump in to fake it.
Yeah, also trying to make sure that we don't see a re-peek from Rush or someone else here, as he's going to go back in to try to take up position. Cloud9 still with a semi-decent buy here, but you'll note that some players were a little bit lower than others, so they bought a couple CZs for this round. They still tried to play this off here, but SK, now after not really finding a great opportunity to go in immediately for that drop control, they're going to wrap away from this and get ready to move in here. The execute probably onto A since time is getting low. There's not really going to be a whole lot of opportunity to really reverse this. And Cloud9 needs to realize what's happening, and thankfully they do. They rotate players over. The missed early shot from Stewie, though, just leaves him out in the open, so he's going to go down. A flash goes over the top. It will blind some of the T's, but again, another offer just goes down. No response at all from him. We do see one trade from Tarek, but he is actually not dead yet, as he picked up a second kill, too, going over here towards Heaven. The rest of his teammates have fallen down, though, so he's going to have to completely clutch this on his own, and, well, he just might do it, as he gets a 3rd kill all of a sudden here, looking for one more that he knows is on the platform, and they didn't have the bomb planted, too, so he actually could have tried to stay back and delay that a little bit more, and maybe waited out the timer, but ultimately, Phelps will take him down, and SK go up 8-1.
Yeah, if they if he knew that the bomb was there, he would have won if he stayed in the corner, and all he had to do was win a trade versus Phelps, who would have ultimately had to push him, knowing that he wouldn't be able to jump up broken wall without risking getting peaked in the first place. So fortunately for them, Cloud9 missed an opportunity. That it could have been just a straight up 1v5 from Tarek. Well, but yeah, we look at this 9-round scoreline. We see that Cloud9 have only one eco to their name, and on every rifle round have been thoroughly outplayed by what appears to be the better team.
Tarek nicely done the swing out there to save his own life, actually, as he was getting spammed down there very quickly. He had another one trying to swing out into the open too to help him out a little bit there, but he manages the situation on his own. Fer will very quickly solo drop into, well, drop, and now catches Tarek, finally completing that kill from earlier and trading out the frag from Taco. We're now going to wrap around, catching Cbble, and the eco here, unfortunately for Cloud9, not fighting much. They might be able to overwhelm Fer, but he holds the line against that two-player push. Automatic on the complete other side of the site. He knows, actually, it's a smart little play there from Fer, as he knows that potentially someone else could push in a drop and take him down, so tosses the AK away so as not to hand that over to him. Automatic, though, is completely detached from this situation.
Yeah, just a nuance adjustment, and we can see on the X-ray that they're actually reboosting to be able to get that jump, get that gun, and you can just see the discipline there. So, as you mentioned, a small detail, but the respect from both sides. Yeah. Cloud9 playing their ecos very carefully, SK playing their anti-ecos very, very carefully. It is really, really difficult. I mean, like, SK Gaming are playing super safe. They're playing all the advantages you need to on T-side Cbble, which is like clearing out forward A, because that bit of map control would be like easily given to you. Like typically you'll have like an operator like Cbble spotting long A. He'll have a smoke out, or he'll take an op shot, fall back, drop the smoke on the stairs, fall back even further to another, and then, you know, SK play that game. They flash him off, and he has no choice but to fall back. No one really holds on to it unless they really want to just like fight it forward A with like a 3-man setup. But in a standard round, SK are just picking all the right spots to clear out. Cloud9 aren't taking any huge risks by pushing through or anything like that, and Cbble's definitely unforgiving for CTs that want to be aggressive. So it's hard to even say what Cloud9 needs to do better. I think we definitely saw on the first rifle round, at the very least, Cloud9 missed a couple of opportunities, just moments where they had the frags, even though they had the proper rotation to be able to win duels. And once that window closed, they never found another easy round like that again.
Cloud9, they believe they're taking their first tactical pause of the map as they just take a second to recenter themselves. So they're getting into this next very important gun round here. Their chance to try and break down, as this is a very long smoke.
That's
yeah,
it's a whiff.
Good try. Anyway, but doesn't block off much. As yeah, SK are just gonna play this round out at a lengthy amount here anyway.
That can really mess things up, because if your team is committed to like, let's say that's like a long B control smoke, like a deep long B, and your team's like, all right, we can, as soon as this blooms, we can peek. But maybe maybe Cbble called that it missed. Not quite sure. Drop control once again taken. Let's once again focus on what SK do with it. Drop being the more middle of the map, it allows you to split A and B.
Okay, and they won't be splitting, however. They've got the 3 guys lined up over here at platform, and they're very quickly pushing over to the edge. Fallen knows that he's got outside pretty much clear for the taking. Stewie, however, waits in the cubby up on platform here. He could do some damage from this position. Just waiting for the flashbangs to come out as he looks away. Yep, here comes the smoke from the CTs. And now they're going to walk past him. They don't check it at all. Gets that first one, but Taco quickly responds. Not only do they get the first entry, but he just goes in, completely dominates the site. Stewie goes down to him, and now Fallen jumps into that little mini pit there, takes out Cbble, and Automatic, again, left in a situation where there's really not a whole lot that he can do. Unfortunately, his teammates just died far too quickly for him to impact here. And now in a 1v4, it looks like he's actually just going to sit behind the box and hope these players may exit this way so that he can try to take a couple of them down.
Cloud9 managed to execute, or excuse me, SK managed to execute through a long B smoke. Cloud9 weren't ready for it. Stewie actually positionally was okay, picked the right time to peek, and then when Taco immediately noticed that his teammate died, turns into the full-on entry fragger that we know him for and gets 3 kills, and it's just like, you know, you're taking out 3 insanely skilled individual players in the B site. And the only thing is that it's just there's enough counter nade usage. Or maybe Cloud9 are using their nades a bit too soon, because it seemed either that SK picked a great timing to go out, or Cloud9 didn't have any nades to stop them here. even though that smoke goes out in chicken coop, you can see this is almost like a death match, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, Cloud9 will end up with a pretty lackluster buy now going into the 12th. Unfortunately, just CZs. They do force it, it looks like, as they buy full utility and everything there too. So they're going to get the best they can get.
It's a half buy.
Is it?
I think so.
Can we see the money? No. It's weird because
It's very weird.
automatic obviously is the save, but besides that, it's pretty much a full buy for everyone except for Stewie, who leaves about 1,500 left over.
Yeah, like if everyone saves $1,000, they have like whatever.
Basically, for most of them, just don't buy nades.
Yeah, they have enough for armor M4 and a nade or whatever next round, but instead they decide to buy weird. They might be tilted. I don't know.
So let's see how this pans out for Cloud9 now. Phelps again looking for that entry. There's a lot more heavier presence towards A this time, and it actually is a good read from Cloud9 as it does align with a change-up in the strategy from SK too. They're going to move in. They catch the one. Cbble with a fast trade as he wraps around the corner here, and that's an HE, yes. He's not going to smoke it back off. Fur takes him out and automatic too, so goodbye to that A-long defensive setup. And SK just with a quick flash out from ramp. They take that control. Phelps has already moved halfway up towards platform here. Fallen now waiting for them to push back in. Tarek's actually going to be able to peg down Phelps with the scout in hand. Looking for another one, but in the open, he's an easy target to knock out. And that's going to be Fur that seals the deal for SK there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much an easy anti-force buy. SK clear out A. Cloud9 give them all the kills. They really wasted the round in terms of why they what they bought. Here they don't have enough money to afford much. I guess they're going for half and halves on everybody. And yeah, so this buy would have made sense last round. They could have just done this and bought full here, so I don't really understand what they're doing at this point. For B, Skadoodle the only one at the A site. Drop control will be pretty much forfeited, and you can bet that SK will almost certainly take it if it's free.
Phelps, he's going to be able to move in here, catching that first kill this time. Skadoodle goes down. Cloud9 ended up on this very peculiar buy once more. Their players are still going to be relatively low here. Fallen, Taco, both picking up those kills here. Automatic responds with one. You'll note he's the only player with a real rifle to play with now as well. The save on that last round, it could have let more players buy up to that, but now not the case. And coldzera, I like what he's doing here too on this flank, just wrapping completely around them. Trying to move back in and see if he can find Rush and automatic. Them just pincered at this point too, so it's going to be very rough for them to try clutching thing out. They both get kills. However, the flank for coldzera and another pickup from Phelps is going to seal the deal there. SK now up to 12, still with Cloud9 only having one round on the board. But finally, they will get themselves a full buy here.
Gotta love how careful coldzera was there. Like waited until basically his teammate died to make sure that that guy wasn't looking at him so that he could push through. And 2 rounds left in the half. SK or throwing him through the ringer, man. This is hard to watch. This is really bad, yeah. And I mean, it seemed like Cloud9 setups are decent. Maybe the counter nades are a little bit bad, but overall, I mean, they'd be beating most teams right now.
There's a quick nade setup there that we just saw from SK as they align themselves in. Oh, Skadoodle had a great opportunity to catch Fallen early on here too, but he misses the shot. And now Phelps is going to come barreling through the mid connector out to the open too. He actually did have Skadoodle without a gun out, but looks like Automatic was ready for the fight, so he falls back. He's going to flash out, but it's great timing for Automatic to push back in, and Cbble gets this first kill on a ramp. Traded out after that due to a missed shot from him. Taco makes that happen, and now Automatic trying to face up, but he gets the kill, and the bomb actually goes sliding down the ramp here. So it's not going to be so easily recovered, as now coldzera is the last man standing. Finally, a good hold from Cloud9. It should translate to a round win here, although we'll wait and see what coldzera can do in this solo 1v4. Oh. Almost went jumping out without a gun there for a second. And yeah, he does go down to Tarek now. So there we go. Second round for Cloud9 finally on the board.
Comes down to a heads-up play from Automatic. Phelps almost gets an opportunity to just like get a kill and leave. And Automatic finds a good opportunity to try to re-aggress at lower A. Also hits this nice headshot on what's basically a spray transfer, even though it's on one person just across. But, yeah, a couple of really good kills. Seeing the bomb, getting it dropped on his side of the fence, and then being able to call for rotates makes it super easy. Still not quite enough. Cloud9 had the opportunity to get one more kill, or one more round, I should say. SK are going to be happy no matter what happens. Playing the game towards A with 2 people close up. No wallbangs through the mid doors. Will Phelps get flashed through? Seemed like it.
Well, I think this is easily send SK back a little bit here, delay things. It's still early days, however, in the round, so it's not a big deal just yet. That's Molly, though, very well timed again. There's 2 times now where they throw out Molly. It's basically perfect timing to cut our flanks from SK, or excuse me, lurks from SK. Trying to move in there and get some kills. Rush is now going to push back out. Fur is ready to take that battle over. They know Tarek's pushed back in, but he also gets hit quite a bit. 2/3 of his health gone, just like that. The pop flash does hold back coldzera temporarily, and that'll give Tarek time to lob out the smoke there, too. Again, just kind of delaying things for as long as possible. SK still at full fighting force, however, and they've basically taken 0 damage. Well, up until that point, anyway, when Stewie at Statue does manage to pick up the kill on Taco, taking him down, evening the fight back up again. 45 seconds left. SK still figuring out where exactly they want to send the bomb. They have options on both sites, really. Drops under their control. Fallen does look like he ends up routing back into the B halls, however, and they're going to make a push happen out onto this site.
Yeah, the drop player is going to peek at E-box, because that might pull a rotate out.
It's going A, actually.
Yeah, no, but will the drop players peek at E-box is a question, because that's going to feed into Cloud9. They might pull that rotate. Players coming out the lower ramp. No one's actually... They're not giving themselves a lot of time to get these kills, but Fallen gets that entry.
Fallen, coldzera, both picking up kills. Fallen did end up going down on the way up the ramp, however. So he... With that on the ground, that's going to drop the bomb, and now his kills just going all over the place here. Skadoodle's still alive. They need to plant this instantly, but look, he's going to go back in.
Oh my god,
he did let the plant go back off, though. So now it's a 2v1. They can instantly start defusing this if they wanted to, as he had that control, but they don't exactly know where coldzera is playing at right now. So Scott chooses not to go for it. He's going to go up on top of the shed. That gives him away to coldzera, and such a quick headshot from him, too. Now it's a 1v1. coldzera playing defense. He sits on the APC, which is going to be an out in the open position, but Stewie might be walking right into the trap now. He's going to go up. coldzera looks away. No! But he spins over and gets the kill anyway against Stewie. What a way to end it for SK as they take control. 13-2 is going to be our final scoreline at the end of the first half, ladies and gentlemen. Stick with us to see if Cloud9 can bounce back on T side.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
Alrighty, guys, and welcome back once again here. Well, we thought this one was going to be a relatively close match given SK's recent history and some would say struggles, but it seems they've really shown up tonight here on Cobblestone and are dominating Cloud9 as of this point. 13-2 coming off of their T half.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, man. Like, SK Gaming played all their advantages out exactly how you'd want them to, did everything really slowly, methodically, cleared out forward A carefully, were able to take attention away from drop when they wanted to take it, even when they needed their individuals. Taco comes out with like an insane 3K entry, players in the clutch like coldzera in that 1v2, even though Stewie basically had his back and whipped, and you don't typically see that from a player like Stewie, who's just like so consistent mechanically. But overall, I mean, and then a couple weird decisions like buying down to a few $100s when they were on full loss bonus, when they know they'd be able to buy next round if they just saved like an extra $600 or $700. So weird. I think you got to imagine they were kind of upset by the end of that half with how the way things that went. But SK certainly made it as difficult as possible for them to get anything going.
And so now this takes us into the pistol, as we often say. It's very important for SK to win this one, but in this case, it is very important, as it could essentially just secure the match right there. Only one real difficult round to get past after that, and that would be the force up from Cloud9. But they're going to be forcing for the rest of this game if SK, wins this pistol. So if they can shut it down, it's easy days for them to swing right up to 16 and take quick control of this first map. However, Cloud9 are going to be pushing in from long A, and that leaves a good opportunity for them to strike, since at the moment, SK only have Fur sitting in the site, but there's more rotating in here. It's also Phelps is going to be added to the fight there too, right outside of the door.
For his support from his teammate, Phelps, the brothers.
Check for a spot, so he's going to go down pretty quickly. Phelps just out in the open here too. Yeah, he's not going to last very long. And that's the site clear. We have more rotating back in. Automatic tries to split the numbers over here outside of drop. That's going to be unsuccessful. And Fallen there too gets the second kill on Cbble out to the sites. They've evened it up down to a 3v3. Smoke's going to go out a little bit there, so that gives them room to come over here and then kind of swing down towards ramp for this re-entry. Rush actually does take one down when they're attempting to move back in here, though, so Cloud9 get the advantage back in their court here. Stewie takes down Cold, so just Fallen left, trying to clutch 1v3. Odds obviously very much stacked against him here, as he has every angle to deal with, so it looks like he actually is going to back away to a better position here. But yeah, Stewie's going to take him down. Cloud9 winning that at least gives them some chance now to get back into the game.
So I was just going to say that Fur had support from his teammate Phelps. If Phelps is preoccupied at long because Cloud9 split the side with good timing, and then Fur in that angle was really cut off, and as long as they cleared him, made that a very easy duel for Cloud9. So overall, good rush. Or good play by Rush, I should say, to get those 2 kills and push up with his teammates, coordinating it properly. And oh wow, it's actually a 3rd kill on the round as well. I actually like that retake smoke that Fallen uses to allow them to get in through the door. Works especially well on the pistol because you can't spam the smoke that easily. So that's a interesting thing to do. Where jumping out of heaven can be difficult because you don't want to spend time in the air.
Yeah.
And the door is like the wider choke point. Rat hole you don't have to like crouch into.
As long as no one's actually like down at mid choke point there, or just in mid connector, then
yeah,
it does give you like a nice little amount of area to work with there, just to try and at least start retaking the site with instead of just trying to bust out door.
And at least if someone is there, like someone could be there before, but now you don't have like 50 potential angles. It's just that one area.
It's a lot cleaner for them. So let's see what Cloud9 are going to look to do here on their second round. We do have Fur sitting over at A long, so he's going to watch and try to listen. See if we can hear anyone from Cloud9 moving up. Cloud9, I don't think would have really given anything away yet, except for that obvious smoke that was tossed back out. So they're just going in, systematically clearing out A long. They do that pretty easily. And now it's all a matter of, okay, do we want to execute here, or do we want to fall back and go to the B halls, as the bomb is still waiting over there towards the B halls right now.
So this is almost identical to what SK did on their pistol, except this time they're pulling the bomb and extra player back to A. They're not throwing anything else over towards B. They've used almost all their utility, which I personally think is better to use all your utility early on the anti-eco. Oh, nice awareness from Stu to get those 2 kills, open up the site, and allow his teammates to activate themselves and run it into A.
They're going to move up very quickly here now. That takes down Fallen, Coldzera, and Taco, the last 2 left standing. Back on the other side here. Not really going to have room to do anything, especially with Taco having the Mag 7 and Coldzera at least having armor along with his pistol to save. So probably we'll see those guys sit back, wait for the next round so they can at least try to get some impact going on the 3rd round, as obviously the other 3 will be fully saved.
And just like we talked about with SK and how they spent time clearing stuff out at A because it's very easy to do. And sometimes there are like pistol setups, but with proper utility usage, you can flush them out of the difficult to clear spots or the crossfires, and then work on just getting all that map control and free kills that come with it, so that you can move into some kind of take. And yeah, standard practice from both teams, holding for pushes, getting free map control, pushing into a site together, and making it look easy. SK will move into next round, probably not buying, you would have to assume. Taco, will he get a kill here? Oh, yeah. Ooh. Takes his time, too. Locks it down. Doesn't go pick up the gun. So I think a Mag 7 better than a lot of other weapons on CT side.
He wants the money, that's why.
He's in it for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why he wins.
So let's see where he'll position. Probably towards like drop or something like that, or broken wall, as we saw in the last round there. But like I said, besides him, there aren't going to be any purchases at all from SK, as they are full saving here, waiting up for the first gun round. So let's take a look and see here what exactly Cloud9 are going to try to do just to try and waddle through this one really quickly and get themselves into the first gun round. Still quite a few SMGs and even the Scout still alive there on Cbble too, so it actually wouldn't be too bad for Cloud9 to try and get some of those cleared, as the next gun round is going to be a little bit messy, but also obviously they get the benefit of having that extra money going into the gun round, so they can kind of throw away the fourth round if they want to.
Oh, that was interesting. They like ran out of B and then they just stopped immediately. I'm not sure if they were trying to make it or try to pull anybody that was holding and listening, but Cloud9 didn't really bite on it by like trying to rush the site or pulling the bomb back because it was a little bit late. But I don't know if it was some kind of audio fake or they actually heard Cloud9 members that were outside B start moving around. Either way, they get a kill for it. But Tarek's got 3 and he's got the MAC 10 and he's hungry.
So Tarek's going to keep pushing forward here now.
Okay, he's making me dizzy. He's making me so dizzy.
Jeez. He hasn't even seen this player in Covey yet, too.
How did he not
come on,
see him?
check it.
Oh, I guess he's cut off from the left.
Yeah, you can't
side.
see it when you're pushing from the right side there. So Fur gets away with that one, but, or excuse me, yeah, no, they get away with that one, but then they get traded out just a second later. And Phelps, ooh, tries to take another player there towards the end, but Stewie sees that one coming, knocks him out. So 13-5, that's where we'll be getting into the first gun round here. And the first, obviously after the pistol round, first real chance for SK to try and close out now.
Yeah, we're really mirroring the first half with these first 4 rounds, so I'm kind of curious in terms of what their economy is like, if they'll be able to hold better than Cloud9 did versus them when they were waiting on CT side with low nades. But here they actually put together more, so I think economically did a better job in these last couple of rounds, but have also burned through about half their utility at minute 35. So yeah, Cloud9 back to that full advantage. They've denied any rushes, which is really nice, but Cloud9 obviously didn't have any interest in going for one. Long control on the duckets. Rush pushes out in the face of a smoke. Knows that nobody's here at the stable, but they're probably in a standard setup, so they've got at least some information. And it's really up to Fur how long he wants to stay out here, look for a kill.
We've got Cloud9 pushing back in now, getting a long control here. SK have completely given up control over there, so they're going to be out of the mix. Fallen, actually, he's pushing back in towards the mid-connector now, so if he can get deep enough, they would be able to potentially line up a shot when Cloud9 cross, but it looks like they're more...
Wow.
Oh, no, he did get inside here.
That is such a cool setup. They have like an op, they have a rifle on the door while following op's like such a weird spot. They're gonna be like, what is he doing? But then they don't know that like Fur is right there watching the door, so it's actually very safe.
So, they have this, oh man, it sucks they backed up there too. If they were still formed up for that, could have done so much damage. So Fur completely blinded too, and he's not really in a safe corner where he hides himself, so both just go down to Cloud9 right at the start. They walk right into the site, and these last 3, they don't have any utility to get back in, so I highly doubt we're going to see anything from them. They're probably just going to post up. So Cloud9 walk in with those 2, completely destructive entries, one would say, on the Fallen and Fur there. And that's going to open up the round win for them. So they'll go 6-13 here. Yeah,
good patience and discipline from Stewie getting that first and second kill. They obviously out-timed SK, and SK had such a sick setup. I was going to say that this is like something that we can contrast from the first half, where SK found a really good point to re-aggress, where Cloud9 would just fall passive after SK take map control and then let them do what they want with it. And here we saw SK have an aggressive response, and it was actually would have resulted in a kill. They would have walked right into Fallen's op shot. Fur would have probably gotten a kill on the door, or gone 1 for 1, whatever the case may be. Better than that, where Stewie just kills them both for free. So it was interesting to see that unfold the way it did, and I kind of wish SK just held on to the map control that they tried to earn back.
As now this is going to let Cloud9 really get back into this game here. Not necessarily...
They wait for the flash. It's perfect.
Yeah, and then, like I said, their Fur was just right out in the open. So not necessarily on the comeback track just yet. Still a while to go before this potentially becomes a reality, as we even have SK buying back into it now again with what they were able to save from the last round. Here they still make up a very decent buy. Full utility for the entire team. A couple downgrades, obviously, but still definitely something where they could work a win off of it. And Cloud9 are going to completely just basically rush B after they set up those smokes here. Taco gets the first kill this time, but Automatic in that very advanced position. He pushes forward, gets the second for himself. Unfortunately, it's all being evenly traded out, and now he's dead on the ground here. Cold Zera goes down, however, to Cbble takes up position, and Rush fires back out as well to eliminate Fallen. Just Fur rolling here now for SK's side of things. In the 1v2, he's going to try to push up, does kill the planter, and the missed shot came out from Cbble. Looks like he did fire out there. Ross was a full suite of utility, but while he was trading out those guns, did not realize that Cbble had pushed into the open. So that's going to be his chance to close down the 1v1 and give Cloud9 another round.
That was dope. We literally see 3 kills come from this one smoke on path that makes it, it's a farce. It makes it seem like nobody can go through that, and that's just to block CTs out. It's actually to stop CTs from thinking about going through it, but from the perspective of Rock, I threw this exact same smoke when I was playing matches where I would use that to basically be able to lurk out. They used it way more aggressively. They're just like running up the side of it. But from Colt's perspective, it looks like all of path is completely smoked. And from Cloud9, obviously, they have like line of sight all the way through. So unless SK were playing that position that we saw Stewie in against that corner of the wall, then there's no way for them to know that someone can run by it unless they know the smoke is going to come. But really cool stuff. I think it might be a north smoke. MSL has like 10 one-ways.
So let's see here for Cloud9. They've got their players pushing forward here. Completely bypassing that 2-man setup that was here at A-Long. Rush is going to be able to take down one of the 2 of them anyway. And now moving in. Oh, the jump. Actually, I think it saves his life under that circumstance there as it goes over the shotgun kill. Tarek's going to walk right in and get a quick 2 kills for himself. They've already got Fur isolated over here at A-Long. They know he's not really going to go anywhere. Taco, let's see if he can push back up and try to drop the bomb carrier. This could be something he can work with here, but nah. The swing was just a little bit too slowly. Automatic takes him out, and Fur, they should already know where he's at, so it's just a matter of hunting him down.
This flick was so fast, you see Tarek lose HP before you even see the crosshair hit him.
Fur?
Oh, Fur gets that kill finally.
Yeah, so
good for him.
Yeah, had to work hard for that one.
Yeah.
So he takes down Rush. Everyone else should be on the path to hunt him down, though. And Fur is more so going to be looking to save anything else. That is a
cool pop flash.
Yeah, for being as on the fly as that was.
Or as you Americans like to say, soda flash.
It's nice. I like that. Stewie's going to move in, take him down, however, and there's Cloud9 securing things.
Yeah, Peanut Gallery, appreciating good humor. What's the math on this? 22 rounds? That's the 22nd round that we're in?
Yes.
Double op setup, as SK likes to do when they're losing. It's like specifically when they lose 5 rounds in a row. They go ahead and pick up a second, sometimes 3, sometimes 5 ops. And they usually end up winning too.
Let's see if they're going to be successful this time. Those Cloud9 are on a little bit of a roll here.
Usually, you know what? Taco usually ops on B. He's playing the exact same spot, but it's usually Taco, not Cold. Taco usually is like pretty good, but not that good, honestly. And there he is, rifling. I think that's what he needs to do.
Shows up this time with the first kill, taking down Tarek, so that's him going down on the push out. They do still split their player base up here as Stewie's going to move in late. Stewie already took some damage though, so I think they're aware of his presence. While Cold tries to go for a sick flick. Unfortunately, it's going to be off the mark. No kill against Cloud9 here just yet, and so many smokes against Cold right now as he tries to survive. It's good with the op shot, actually. The laser beam rolls in to take him down. Automatic just completely melts the enemy team here, as he's able to move in, splitting off that one remaining A player that was still rotating over. That's really going to mess up SK, as that's just been brought down to Fallen now in a 1v3. He's been flashed out at so many angles here too. Knows he really can't do much. Cloud9 get away, get past the double op setup, and they take down Fallen to secure it. 4 more rounds, and they've got it tied back up.
Yeah, looking beast. Looking a lot better here. And I think it's nearing this point where if this game actually becomes close, that Cloud9 will look back at the bad buy rounds they had and later in the first half. We'll say those were like poor decisions that we made, maybe because we were a little distracted or probably in like a loser's mindset or something, because it's hard to justify why they did that. And if SK do win this game by just like 1 or 2 rounds, those rounds are the reasons that happened. But overall, strong B take once again. Did a great job neutralizing both Coldzera and Taco. And because they invested so much into those ops. Oh, wow. I got to save.
Nice it up from Taco there. Phelps, I had a chance. Unfortunately, I think he should have committed to that one there. Maybe he would have been able to take him down, especially after the dink, but nope. And now that leaves just Fallen alive. 1v4. Rush already looking for him back over there by the suicide steps. He's going to swing out here. Actually, Oh, the tree, I think, messes him up a little bit, but he still gets the kill, just not a headshot. Finally, though, will go down to Tarek. And there we go, Cloud9 into double digits. Let's take a replay.
Ooh.
Nice little shot from Taco.
So nasty.
And here's the slow-mo.
This is all keyboard movement. Look at that. Doesn't move his crosshair at all. People underrate keyboard movement when it comes to aim. It's like half the work. Usually your kills come from good positioning, and that's all, and strong peaks, which is all keyboard movement. So far, Cloud9 haven't dropped a single round. That is pretty nuts. T-side's looking good for both teams, and they're kind of doing similar things to each other, which is like the best part.
Let's see if Tarek goes to this lurk again. He's actually been taken down, I think, more times than he's actually found success. So the success of Cloud9's overall hits here haven't really been dependent on Tarek, but he's going to move in. Gets the first kill on Cold. Tries to follow it up here, but there's no one else sitting by Chicken right now. Taco's going to fall behind the smoke wall, but oh no, he hasn't seen it. But Taco's going to be able to move in here, trying to take advantage upon it. Does have to adjust very quickly to find Rush. However, only can get that one kill. Stewie cleans up shop there and ends up with 3 kills so far on this round. Fallen alive again as the last man standing. There's that nice little mini flick there onto Stewie, but yeah, again, it's a 1v4 for him. Knows he can't win it, so he's going to fall back. That's Cloud9 going up to 11 now.
It's oddly reminiscent of Cbble leaving a 1vx situation with the op in the exact same fashion in the first half. So again, one thing to mention there is how Tarek helped them with that execute. So one thing that, and this is North again, so what I learned when I studied North for my team was that on B executes, they would always have Rubino jump out into the long B smoke on the corner, because at long B, as we can see on the platform, there's a couple places where the CTs can stand on the left side of you if you're a terrorist looking out long B, and you can't clear those behind a smoke. But if you execute, you don't want to have to think about that. So you have your first guy lead out and try to clear the left side, and then once that happens, you can have everybody jump out and know that there isn't anyone waiting on long B or on steps, and then it gives your teammates a lot more like freedom to just like focus on players in the site.
The money here too for Cloud9, 14K for Cbble, 10K for Tarek, and 7 and 8K for most of the rest of the team there, those other 3. Cloud9 very much in control, SK going on to another eco. So we're not really expecting SK to win this round, and because of that, that could set Cloud9 up to 12 to 13 with a massive bank. Still not a single loss on their T side so far, by the way. Look at this now. SK's going to push back in, but Thoughtful was actually in a great position to do some damage, but apparently Skadoodle saw it coming, so they countered it back out. And Tarek is also going to take down Taco here now. Cold Zero will push up. There's quite a few players that are low now because of that push, and he's going to waltz right in. Tries to finish off a second, but Tarek on the draw here does trade out pretty quickly. So Fur and Fallen again left alive. Trying to clutch 2v4. Fallen being spammed down a bit. Fur just trying to hold this close-up angle. Try and find players pushing out from Broken. I don't think they saw him there on that cross, but the smoke should be fading soon, so they're going to be aware of him. He's sticking around. Fallen's backing away, however.
3 players, they've got less than 50 HP between them.
Fallen should push back in to try and hold this. Ooh, Fur can go back in, denies the plant, just shoots him in the butt. Now, well, a combined 13 HP for the last 2 players. This could be the round where we finally see SK come out on top, and it would have to be this round, right? Where they're just on a half buy for most of their players. Fur still trying to dance around the statue a little bit here. He's got to be careful because he is playing with fire, and Fallen's clutch is going to be difficult to do because he does have that, and these guys are right next to each other. Tarek trying to creep out. Fur, he hasn't checked it yet. He's looking at every position except where Tarek is hiding at right now. Skadoodle also not peeking out into the open. Finally spots it, and Fur's going to get the better of it. Skadoodle trades, but now it's a 1v1, and one that Fallen can clutch with the pistol. He's going to creep right up, see if he can get him peeking. Skadoodle has no idea, so Fallen walks in, gets the last kill, and finally SK will close out on a CT round.
Oh man, that was so intense. Jeez, I need a pants check. Wow. Sitting in the smoke. Tarek actually whiffs like crazy right here.
Oh, he had a good,
he whiffed like crazy.
Full 3-second spray there to kill him, and only needed, you know, a couple of those to hit at close range.
Yeah, no, one of those I think. Yeah, I mean, if you got that kill, who knows? But it came down to it. It's hard to say exactly why. I think Cold Zero jumped up on B-plat, hung a hard left, and killed Stewie. I could just picture Mo saying, "Why me?" But
was the odd man out there.
That helped, yeah, because he went after a 100 damage target. So if he like turned right, maybe he kills one person and dies, but that person only has 1 HP. Instead, he gets someone with 100 HP. There's 3 players left on the plat, and they're all very low. It makes it much easier for SK to deal with that. And I mean, it's SK's karma to win an eco, right? Like they Cloud9 did the same thing to them in the first half. And ultimately, Cloud9 got to come out with nothing short of a fantastic half to be able to even match up to what SK did. But even here, SK were down to 1 player. Fortunately for them, they saved an op, which they wouldn't have been able to afford otherwise. And Cloud9 have the opportunity to reset them and have an easy road to 14.
So let's, oh, freaking tripped it there a little bit by the smoke, but let's see here for Cloud9 now.
Good nade.
Keep it together. Yeah, great nade actually, as it does destroy him with a help pull. Who exactly got hit by that?
Turek?
Yeah, there we go. Turek, yeah. So he's down at 60 now as a result of it. Cloud9 not being too tripped up by that, however, they still have their players split up. The bomb being kept at an in-between point right now at the side of the B halls. As Cloud9 have the potential to go for some kind of a drop split, but we've seen this lineup a couple times from them already, so it wouldn't be too surprising to see it change shape. Potentially just lead itself to be just a direct B hit or something along those lines, which might end up being what we have happen. Since we have quite a few of the players rotating into those halls now.
So one thing that SK did better than Cloud9 so far in this half is they spent so much attention on clearing out everything almost every round that it made it hard for SK to guess what they were going to do. Or made it hard for Cloud9 to guess what they were going to do. They made it close to impossible, honestly. Like, I didn't see any reason why Cloud9 would have the information unless they did like some aggressive push at a correct timing. But here, Cloud9 have been focusing just kind of like all their attention to B, all their attention to A a little bit, and it might not be too bad though on this round especially.
Molly the corner, they think it's safe because he doesn't swing out so quickly, but Taco does manage to go out. At least makes the best out of that situation.
Tim doesn't see this.
Oh, what? Now he does. He's going to go into even a third one through the smoke, too. Nicely done. It was looking great, but no! What are they doing? What? Why? What?
What?
Did they lose? I think they didn't even realize what was going on with the clock there.
Dude. Yeah, but like, your bomb needs to go out to the site. What happened?
Yeah, they were going to A. That's why I think they didn't realize how little time they had.
They were going to A? No, they had 2 people long B. One came out.
But the bomb was going A. It was going back down the halls.
Yeah, but like, I think it was going A at the point where they didn't have enough time to plant. Like, he was like, all right, we got to get this kill because we...
Oh, yeah.
Did they drop it? That is such a tilting way to lose round.
Either way.
They literally would have had an easy road to 14. SK right now barely have enough money to buy, have to work against match point, and had 3 entries on B. Like, they 100% won that round.
That's one for the analysts.
You gotta walk it off. Yeah, you just gotta walk that off.
So they're gonna try to go for a fast execute here this time. Out onto B, who holding close angles too for SK. So this is getting tricky. If they don't hit those entries, Taco starts it off with a double now. Rush will trade one back, but it's only that one. Automatic. Now the hero here, but he's not gonna last very long either. Up to Skidoodle now, and a nice shot from him, just as he gets blinded to take down coldzera. Still has the 1v2 to deal with, however, and he doesn't realize it yet, but in a couple of seconds he's gonna be pinched out. As Furt is rotating in from platform. Some people hopes and prays that someone will peek back in, but it's Fallen that finds him and secures the map for SK. After 10+ straight rounds from Cloud9 there in the second half of their T side, they falter and lose the last 3 straight. That gives control over to SK as they finally close out here.
That's a tough one. That is really tough. Such a phenomenal comeback, only to lose it because I don't know exactly what happened, but they maybe dropped the bomb too far back or something. But yeah, like they had that round in the bag, and who knows what would happen from there.
Yeah, it all happened so quickly too. We didn't really, get a full grasp of what exactly happened in that round. So hopefully our analysts will be able to talk a little bit more about that, as I believe they are ready. So let's send it over to them, gentlemen. What exactly did happen there?
Sure, we could start in a few different places. Let's just start with a 13-2 first half.
Yeah, C9's kind of always had trouble dealing with SK's T side on this map, and it seems like those troubles continue. It seems like SK's always ahead of the curve in terms of how C9 would adapt to what they've seen SK do in the past. They kind of have like an extra wrinkle to add every time.
I think C9 played way too passive on the CT side, and they fell back way too much. As you saw in a lot of CT times on C9's CT side, SK got a lot of map control. As you mentioned earlier, before the match, SK was abusing that drop area so much, and I mean sometimes if you can kind of have a passive drop, play retake or whatever, maybe have a certain kind of scenario, but if you let SK do it almost every single round, they're just going to abuse it, and it's just too detrimental.
Well, you talk about map control, we can actually show an instance of that right here. Really quickly, we can take a look at round number 11.
So round 11, as we see, SK is kind of working through. There's a Molotov here at the drop area. We already see, I think it was coldzera that fall down. No, Fur. So he's down here in the drop area, just hanging out, having a good time, and slowly SK peeking every single angle uncontested. You see it following with an AWP, and this is such a dangerous spot for C9, is that it allows SK to eliminate a lot of spots and say, okay, Cloud9, they're not in drop. They have to probably be either platform, statue, or chicken coop or whatnot. As you can see, they don't check the spot that 2K's in. Does get a kill, gets taken out. But at that point, it's too little, too late. As you see, SK, they were just lightning fast in taking this B bomb site and kind of knowing what areas that Cloud9 was at, because they just fell really quickly.
Well, James and Eric, we both talked about what really benefits SK here, specifically on their T sides. We talked a little bit about defaults. We talked about them having those multiple different ways to approach each round on the T side. We're going to load up round 6 for you, James, and kind of look at this one and kind of walk us through what we're looking at.
So I broke this round up into 2 clips, and it's going to end in an A split with, I think, 2 or 3 people through drops. This is kind of like basic default. Usually teams take long A with 3 people. Like, that's the most risk-averse way of doing it. Nice flashbang here to blind Skadoodle. That one's way better than, you know, jump throwing it, because he can hear the pin pull when they do this. So this is just to get the opera off that initial angle, and then the 2 rifles will swing wide, and then Fallen will hold that left angle that Skadoodle took his initial shot from. He falls back here, but then they have another clever flash to clear this key angle, right, from barn room to CT camera. And then they just keep pushing them back further, right? So what they've expended so far is $800 worth of flashbangs. Like, that's pretty cheap to get all of A-halls if you think about it, rather than hoping to send one guy there and get it alone. And now they use 2 Molotovs and a few flashes to get B plat to push the opera off, and then Taco gets killed. So right there, they kind of make the audible. They're like, all right, B's not the play. We're going to go fast through drop to A. And because they pushed him so far off A, both the A players are no longer in door, right? And because those nades were long B, the drop player is no longer looking at window, right? He moved over towards rock. So they're constantly doing this like manipulation of the defense, and because everyone on SK knows why everything is done, they all know what to do as soon as one part of that breaks loose, right? As soon as Taco dies, everyone knows that long B is no longer the play, right? Even if you were a drop player, you're no longer going to turn left to E-box, you're going to go out the window ASAP, because they still have the bomb and 2 players bottom mid, where if Taco and those guys got to kill long B, they would have gone B with the bomb. So there's all these options for them to do stuff right there.
Right, and it comes down to that sort of crucial, I guess, decision-making process that
it's just a hive mind.
In on. Yeah.
It's just like, if I were to like explain a default and then all of the intricacies of it for like 5 days in a row of practice, and everyone knows why everything happens, then so much less comms need to happen real time.
It's a wild dissemination of information,
yeah.
Something like that. Anyway, so we got a 13-2 first half. We're going to load in now to the second half of the game, kind of touch on what happened there, specifically round 19.
Okay, so this is a really cool kind of like Cloud9's version of that default towards A control. So we're going to miss a lot here on this clip. We're just going to show the brass tacks. And they're going to go through slope here, right? A lot of good flashbangs here. Earlier on in the round, they had their own kind of signature on how they took A-halls and how they made SK stay towards B, right? Because part of taking A-halls and doing an exec on A site is keeping at least 3 people interested in B/drop zone, right? So all of that is what makes this work. And C9 did that to a T. They just did it their own way, and it was mainly through slope. What you also saw there was 2 smokes that were on each side of the APC as well as the door, just to kind of cap things off. Just different styles of taking the A site, and you can see it. And I'm sure both teams have both styles anyway.
Well, we saw Cloud9 come back to life in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to string together a series of rounds and almost looked like we were going to be having ourselves a much closer ball game in the end. But then we look at around like round 26. And Eric, I'm going to let you walk us through this one. Just chaos and confusion, or what?
Yeah, I think it's chaos confusion. And you see on the radar, the bomb is way back after the execute. So whoever dropped the bomb made a huge mistake, as Automatic makes a great play to the smoke, getting 3 kills right here. But now look, the bomb is way too little, too late, and C9, I mean, they did pretty well on their T side, I think.
I mean, they would have had a flawless T half if you think about it, right? Because the one round they lost before that was when Cold Zera got that 1v3 on the A site, right? Where Stewie was using his CZ and trying to shoot through the wooden pole at the top of Juliet. So it's kind of puts a bad taste in my mouth, right? Because they had a really good T half going, and it was kind of these 2 weird plays that broke it for them, right? They had 13-2, and they basically had a flawless half going for them.
Flawless, but unfortunately that is not the way the story unfolded. So SK Gaming will be picking up that first map on Cbble, but we're going to be going to a quick break and jumping into our last match of the night. We're going into Mirage between SK and Cloud9, so make sure you're here with us. We'll be right back.